it is Lolita Haze, the vintage starlet. I am here today with a fun and easy DIY. As you can see, I am wearing what appears to be a vintage 1940s celluloid bracelet, necklace, and brooch set. Can you believe I made this entire set for under $10? Technically a little bit more than 10 because I had to get a few packaged items such as the clasps and the O-rings, and then the shipping for the chains. However, piece by piece, it cost me under $10. So now I'm going to show you how you can make this vintage-inspired 1940s jewelry set. Before we get started, if you are under 18 years of age, please get adult supervision as there are tools and sharp things, and I don't want to be blamed for you cutting off a finger. So let's go over the things you'll need for this 1940s jewelry-inspired DIY. First, you'll need these acrylic table scatters. I actually got these at the dollar store, and they're very reminiscent of 1940s celluloid or bakelite jewelry charms. I only used one package, however you may need to use two depending on how many charms you want on your necklace. You will need the chain. I got this plastic chain from Happy Kawaii Supplies. I'll go ahead and link them in the description below. I liked hers because it has an oval ring, whereas the other plastic jewelry chain that I found is very rectangular in shape. You'll need some jewelry fastenings plus these pin backs. I can't remember where I got these from, but I'm sure any online jeweler will sell those to you. I preferred these because they had the very 1940s closure. You'll need some jewelry closures of your liking. I prefer the lobster claw. You'll need some O-rings in various sizes. You'll need a rotary tool of sorts. I have my handheld Dremel here. You'll need a very small drill bit. This is 1/32 of an inch. 32nd of an inch? Math is hard. You'll need an X-Acto knife, a needle nose plier, and a secondary plier just to hold. You'll need some E6000. And what I forgot to film, you will need safety glasses. They are the most important thing, as there will be tiny hot bits of plastic flying about. Let's start with a necklace. Now, the way these chains are sold, they are sold in very small lengths, so you will need to extend the necklace chain. Now, to extend the necklace chains, we'll be attaching another chain to it, and to do this, we need to cut off the length we need from a secondary chain. And this is why, if you're like me and you have long nails, you need these two sets of pliers. Now just take that extra long chain that I needed to attach, and I snip a hole off the side here of the edges. However, looking back, I could have done it in the longer portion of the oval and it probably would have stayed just as well, but for whatever reason I chose to clip it at the end. And then I just repeated that on the other side. This just creates openings so that we can attach the other chain to. And since I'll need to open and close the chain as a whole, I'm going to go ahead and mark this in half and cut off the center ring so that I now have two chains. And now once again using the pliers to help me handle these chains. These long nails, beautiful, but they can be bothersome at some times. I'm going to go ahead and snap that into place. Now you'll see that if I had just left this like this, any sort of tension would break the two chains apart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put these chains back together. and then take a lighter and just melt that just slightly. This is one of the reasons why you need adult supervision if you're under 18. This is hot, these do catch on fire, and I just stamp those out real quick. Yes, this does alter the shape a little bit, but once it's on your neck, nobody's going to notice. So you see it melted just a little bit, but I went ahead and tried to tap that back into place. That just closes off that slit that we made earlier. And you see, with just gentle tugging, it does not come apart. I do the same on the other end. Watch it catch fire. Blow that out, and oh, that one got a little too much heat. However, we're going to go ahead and just pretend that does not exist. Since I filmed this, I have not noticed that extra little black mark. So there we have it, the extra long chain. Now here you're going to need 2 small O-rings and 2 large O-rings and 1 clasp. I like to pre-open up all of my O-rings just so that they're easier to grab once I'm starting to assemble this. As you see, this last one is giving me a bit of trouble, so I'm going to go ahead and grab that second set of pliers and just use that for extra strength. I'm going to take one of the small O-rings and wrap it around the chain and close that shut. And then I'm going to take one of the larger O-rings and wrap that through. I'm choosing to use the larger of the 2 O-rings on the end just so that I have an easier time getting that lobster claw to grab onto that O-ring. For the other side, I'm going to take the small O-ring and attach it to the lobster claw. I am then going to use the last large one to connect the chain to the lobster claw. And there you have it, a necklace with a closure. Now this is where we're going to add in the charms. To do so, you select the number of charms you want and which colors you want. Now you see I'm not using the pumpkins that came with the set. I am just using the acorns and leaves. I am figuring out a layout that I like for both sides, and then I am simply taking them, finding a good spot towards the end, which would be on the stems here. I'm using the pliers to help hold the charm secure, and I'm carefully drilling a hole through the stem. Now this is where your safety glasses are definitely needed. As that acrylic gets hot, it melts and it goes flying at random. So I'm just going to go ahead and pre-drill the holes in each one of these charms. Sometimes I'll have to go back and redo the holes as the melted plastic sealed itself shut. I'm then going to take the number of O-rings and pre-open them all. Figure out the layout I want one more time. Also deciding on how many links I want in between each charm. And you can do more charms than I'm doing, you can do less charms than I'm doing. Whatever you prefer. And I'm simply going to take those O-rings, link them through the charm, and then link them through the chain. Now it is very important that you make sure that you're linking these on the right side of the chain so that they're not on top of each other, but they're all hanging from the bottom. Now if you do make a mistake like I did sometimes and I put them on the wrong side, these are easy to just take off and replace on the correct side. So there's the first one hanging. And you see that's hanging from the bottom. So I'm going to finish this by putting the rest of the charms on. And as you see, sometimes I have to go back with the Dremel tool because the acrylic does melt. Sometimes it'll reclose itself. And I just have to re-drill that hole. And I just simply repeat for the second side. And there you have it, a 1940s inspired charmed necklace. Now for the bracelet, it is pretty much just the same as we did with the necklace. We measure out the lengths we want. We attach the clasps on each end, and then we decide what charms we want and the layout we want them. Open up all the O-rings, drill the holes through the ends, and simply attach them. And there you have it, a bracelet to match your necklace. Now the brooch is going to be a little bit different. First you want to take your pin back and a length of chain that and decide just how you want it to hang from the ends. Now you're going to want to figure out how exactly you want to cover that pin back. So you can see I'm deciding on how do I want 2 leaves and 2 acorns, but in the end I went with 2 leaves and 1 acorn. I'll be gluing that design onto the pin back. However, right now I just want to figure out how I want the charms to be from the chain. I wanted the chain to dangle from the leaf charms themselves and not the actual pin back. So for this I needed 2 of my O-rings, and to figure out the best place to drill in the holes in those leaves. So I went ahead and drilled those holes, and I attached the chain ends to this. So same as with the necklace, I went ahead and I laid out my design, drilled in the holes, and pre-opened the O-rings. I attached the charms to the chain. And finally now, I'm going to glue the rest of the charms onto the pin back. There you have it, a brooch to match your pin and necklace. Thanks guys for watching my video. I hope I explained everything well enough so that you can make your own. And if you do make your own, please tag me in any photos or videos that you have. I want to see what you made, how you made them, if you did a different design, if you did a different type of brooch or bracelet. I just want to see it all. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button along with that bell so you can be notified when I post new videos. I am trying to do a weekly thing now. Thanks again for watching, guys. I'll see you in the next one.
I hope these are stable enough for you.